Hey everyone, it is Jonah and I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my American Idol top 10 power rankings before the solo and duet rounds. I know what happened. I know like the first round of the solo and duets happened yesterday, but I have not reacted to any of them or I haven't watched anything yet, so these rankings are purely based off of what I've seen so far from each of these artists leading up to the top 24. So basically auditions in Hollywood week up until the showstoppers rounds, including the showstoppers rounds, and then that's it right there. So these rankings are only up to the showstoppers rounds, are not including the solo and duet rounds that are happening yesterday and tonight. So yeah. So I'm only gonna give top 10 just to keep the video short, but I will also go over some people that I think could move into the top 10 after this week, and people who I may be underrating. But yeah. So, before I get to this video, guys, if you guys like American Idol and like my videos, please feel free to subscribe down below for more content. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's go ahead and start this video. So, coming in at 10, he's a guy who is one of my favorites so far this season, and it's Wyatt Pike. I'm a huge fan of him. I think that the judges always want identity, and they want someone who knows their identity, someone who knows what they want to do, and Wyatt's that. He's so unique. He feels really confident in what he does. He has a great identity, and he has a voice to back it up with. He seems to never miss on the show, and he always seems to just make me in awe of him every time he performs. So I love his voice. I'm about him, and I think that he is going to go pretty far in this show, and I can't wait to hear what he does in the next round. So yeah. And then coming in at 9, this may be a little high to some people, but I have Deshaun Goldclaves. I think that's his last name. I have him at 9. I think that his voice is absolutely amazing. I think that he has a very nice range, and he has a very good stage presence about him. The only issue is that they aren't showing necessarily him in every round, like they are with some people, which makes me think that he won't have as big of a fan base as some other people. But from like a voice standpoint and people who could go far on the show, I think Deshaun is definitely it. I think that he has, if he can just limit the amount of like antics he does with his voice. I know, like, I heard one of the judges say that he was doing a little too much on Over the Rainbow, whatever he did in the show. I think he was Over the Rainbow in the showstoppers rounds. But if he can keep it down and keep it just focusing on his voice more than doing other things, I think he has potential to go pretty far on this show. So I'm definitely excited to hear what he does next. And then coming in at 8, I have Casey Bishop. So with Casey, they didn't show a lot of her. I thought they would show more of her in the Hollywood week than they did. But I am a huge fan of her voice. She's a very powerhouse voice. I think she's like 15, 17 years old, something like that, which is also very surprising. And she can belt. She can do a lot of different things. She can run. She can do a lot of different things with her voice. And because she's so young, I think that it kind of adds to like the surprise factor of it. And I think that she's going to go farther on this show than maybe some people think. And I can see her in the top 5. Honestly, if she keeps surprising people down the road, I definitely see her in the top 5. So yeah. Coming in at 7, I have Jason Warrior. So Jason's another guy kind of like Deshaun, where they didn't show a lot of him in Hollywood Week. But Jason's a little different because I know, not know Jason, but I've watched Jason on The Voice. I watched him on The 4. So I know his voice. I know what he can do with his voice. I know how talented he is. And if he stays humble and just stays... If he keeps the antics, kind of like Deshaun, but with Jason, he can be over dramatic sometimes, and he sometimes do maybe a little too much. So if he can keep that to like a minimum, I think he has potential to do really, really well on the show. But I think that he needs to pick songs that fit his voice, and he can't be too dramatic with what he's doing. He needs to stay true to himself, and he has an amazing stage presence. He got to keep that stage presence going, but he can't be overly dramatic with his performances. Otherwise, he may go home sooner than he wants to. So yeah, coming in at 6, I have Hunter Metz. This is a guy who he's amazing. I love his voice so much. I think it's very unique. That little high range, that little high tone he has, it's pretty amazing to me. And I feel like the judges kept saying step outside his comfort zone, step outside his comfort zone. And I believe he sang July in the showstoppers rounds. And I think that it was a great song choice because it's not something that maybe the judges expected him to do, like right off the bat. but it was something that fit his voice pretty well. But it was something that, like, it was outside of his comfort zone a little bit, and I think he did that well. I think if he continues to keep pushing himself and grow on the show, take risks, I think he has potential to go to be in the finale. He's got to keep taking risks. He can't play it safe anymore. He has to keep taking songs that people don't think he's going to be doing and just kill them every single time. So yeah. Coming in at 5, we have Ava August. So, funny thing here. So, I kept watching her on this show, and I'd be like, I recognize her from somewhere. Like, where do I recognize her from? And then I realized that she was on The Voice. She didn't turn a chair, but she was, I think, the youngest person ever to audition at the time. She sang House of the Rising Sun on the piano, and she didn't get a chair turn. But I think at the time she was the youngest person ever to audition for The Voice. And I thought she was a pretty fantastic voice, and I think that the judges were reluctant to turn around because they didn't realize how young she was, which is why I think American Idol is a better choice for Ava here, is because of how young she is. She can showcase that amazing voice, and I think Ava is someone to watch out for because of how young she is and how talented she can be. Because she's someone that can go far on this show with ease, in my opinion. If she can just keep confidence up, don't let the nerves get to her because of how young she is. And I think for her age, she has a decent amount of experience. That's just my opinion, but I do think that she has a great amount of experience on this for being her age. I mean, she already did for The Voice in American Idol at the age of 15. That's pretty insane to me. So, yeah. Coming in at 4, we have Cassandra Coleman. So, the only reason why I have her this high is because I believe in her. I have full faith in Cassandra. I know she may not have complete faith in herself yet, and I know that she still can get the nerves can get to her a little bit, but if she can keep the nerves to a minimum and keep them in the back of her mind, she is going to go far on this show because she has an amazing voice. It draws me in. It's very unique, and I think that if she can, again, keep the nerves to a minimum and just be confident in herself, she will go far on this show, and I can't wait to see what she does next. So yeah. Then coming in at 3, I have Alyssa Ray. Alyssa is somebody that very big voice, like her and Grace, probably the 2 biggest voices on this show. I mean, they're just amazing. And there's not much else I can say about them. I mean, they're just terrific performers. And I think that for Alyssa, if she can keep picking the songs that fit her voice well and keep showcasing the emotions that she's able to emote really well when she sings. And I think that with her, with most people, it's song choice for her, and I think she has to show songs that showcase not only her power of her voice, but like the softness of it too, and the control that she has behind her voice too. And I think that if she does that, she's gonna have potential to do really well on the show, and I can't wait to see what she does next. I think she's finale vibes to me, and yeah. Coming in at 2, I have Grace Kingsler. Grace, another one who I think that she needs to just be more confident in herself and what she can do because she's absolutely fantastic. And song choice is key for her too. She needs to pick songs that fit her voice really well and showcase not only the powerhouse voice she has, but maybe like the other complexities to her voice too. And I think that she's one of my favorites on this show. And I would not be surprised at all if she's in the finale. And I think that she could win this show. Like, for real. I think she can definitely win this show. So, yeah. And then at 1, I have Willie Spence. Willie, he is so fantastic. The runs he can do with his voice, the ability he can emote. I think that he may have like a good story also. And I think that he has a lot of fans. And I think that he is somebody that right now is the front runner to win this show. And this season is kind of different in my opinion just because there isn't a clear front runner like there's been in past seasons. Like, I don't know, I feel like Alejandro was like a clear front runner in like the last season. And then in my opinion, Arthur Gunn was like a front runner last season, but obviously they both ended up being runner-ups. I mean, Lane Hardy was a clear front-runner on the show the whole entire time, in my opinion. Like, Johnny West was really up there, too. I mean, there's plenty of people. Francisco Martin and Louis Knight, right? Francisco Martin, another one who I thought could have potential to win the show. But this season's kind of different. There's a lot of people who I can see winning the show, but there isn't, like, a clear number 1 to me, which is actually going to make for a very great like live shows this season, just because it's going to be interesting to see who ends up coming up on top, who rises and lowers in my power rankings every week, and stuff like that. So yeah. Okay, so now that I've gone over my top 10, I'm going to probably like my top 5 people who I think have potential to go, who have the top 5 people who are outside the top 10, but that I think are going to make it through. like I think the cut they're doing is 24 to 16. So I think that out of those 10, and then I may say 6 more people, just to like okay, like these 16 people are the people that I think have the best chance of moving forward onto the next round. So yeah, so I guess the first spot in that 6 would go to Mary Jo Young. I love how powerful her voice is. I think she's very quirky, and I think that if she continues to build confidence in herself and what she can do with her voice and not let the nerves get to her, she's going to go far in this show. And the only reason why she's outside my top 10 is because of the fact that she doesn't have much experience, and she has been letting nerves get to her a tad sometimes. So yeah. Then Chase Beckham, another person who I think will I think he will survive the first cut. He is somebody that I've loved watching, and I think that he's someone that can go far on this show with the right song choices, and he just needs to find songs that fit his voice more. I don't think he's had the breakout performance just yet, which could mean that it's coming up pretty soon. So yeah. Then next one, Annalie List. So the only reason why Annalie List didn't crack my top 10, I think she has an amazing voice, probably one of the best voices on the show, is because they didn't show her Hollywood Week performances at all. And then in the showstoppers round, the only reason why they even showed her is because I know. So in case you don't know, Benson Boone, he auditioned on the show, and then after the audition rounds were like, I guess after his audition was posted, like not posted, but after his audition was like live on television, like after the first audition episode played, he got signed to a record deal, I'm pretty sure, and he decided to drop out of the show. But because Hollywood Week had already been through and the showstoppers round had already been made, he made the top 24 originally, and he had to drop out, and they replaced him with Annalie List. And I feel like, I can even back that up because she was the only one who made it through the top 24 that the judges didn't absolutely like say you're into the top 24. Like they just said you're in. They didn't show the judges saying yes because she was a backup option. But I think that she can perform well on this show, and I'm kind of surprised that she wasn't already in the top 24 before this, because I think that she's an amazing voice, and I think that she's going to surprise some people with how good with how amazing her voice is. So that's why she comes in at my second spot. People who I think are going to make the top 16 along with my top 10. So yeah. And then I guess my third would have to be Bean. So Bean, he keeps getting better and better and better. The only reason why he's outside my top 10 is just because I don't know with him yet. He's somebody that I think could maybe go back a little bit to like the more theater vibes, and but I think if he can stay within the more singing American Idol like area and keep that stage presence up, he's somebody to watch out for on this show, because I think that he has an amazing voice, and I think that he's somebody that can build a very big fan base going forward. So yeah, so that's 3 of my 6 that I think will make it along with the top 10. So I guess my fourth, I'm gonna go with Colin Jameson, and I think with him is that he likes to sing with a lot of air and breathiness, which I think that's good sometimes, but he needs to limit it. And I think that if he doesn't limit it, he has potential to not go as far as you think on the show. But I'm thinking that he's going to go far on the show, and I think he's going to make the first cut. I think that he's going to keep surprising people and keep showing off what he can do with his voice. And I'm a fan of Colin too. Like, I think he's somebody that I've been a fan of this whole time. So yeah. And then I guess the 5th spot I would give to Hannah Everhart. She's kind of like Mary Jo Young, where she's just so quirky and weird, but her voice, she's a voice to back it up with, and I think she has a very large fan base because of that, and I can definitely see her going far on this show. So yeah. And then at 6, but my 6th spot, like I guess technically the 16th person I think will be in the top 16, I would give it to Caleb Kennedy. And Caleb Kennedy is somebody that I've been a fan of. He has a very unique voice for his age in his country. And that's really the main thing, is that there isn't really a country guy, but I guess you can say Wyatt kind of country. But other than that, and Cecile Ray, but I'm not a big fan of Cecile. But I think that Caleb, if he makes it to the top 16, it's because he purely has the country vote. Like maybe him and Wyatt, like Wyatt has the country folk vote, but Caleb has the pure country vote. And I think that's going to be what keeps propelling him forward into the rounds. Like I can definitely see him in the top 10 because of him getting the country vote every week. So yeah. So I'm going to try to react to some of the solo and duet rounds. Maybe today we'll see what happens. I'm not really sure about my schedule for today. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I'll be back with more videos later. Thank you guys for watching.